we use social media. It's not just about the platforms themselves.
To the preservation of national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian development.
And distribution of subsidized fertilizer and farm inputs to farmers across the state. Governor Alia, who performed the flag off at the industrial layout in Makurdi, said the intervention is aimed at cutting production costs, increasing yields, and making agriculture the engine of the state's economy. Benue State's correspondent Felicity Ndere tells us more.
The cutting of the tape ceremony marks the official launch of the 2026 cropping season and distribution of fertilizers and other inputs to farmers. Governor Hyacinthe earlier announced that the 2026 input distribution will cover all the 23 local government areas, adding that the volume of fertilizers and other inputs have been increased to match the expanding farming populations.
May this season be greatest than every other season previously. Amen.
While emphasizing on the importance of the strategic land aggregation policy, which will boost food security and expand cultivated farmlands, Governor Alia disclosed that the fertilizers will be sold to farmers at 28,000 naira per bag, with the state government subsidizing more than 50% of the product.
As we commence the 2026 fertilizer and other farm input sales and distribution exercise today, I express my optimism that this intervention will translate into increased productivity, bumper harvests, improved livelihoods, greater prosperity for our people and for the state.
Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Benjamin Anshavi, disclosed that the era of substandard fertilizers and other inputs was over, warning that strict monitoring measures have been put in place to deal with any form of fraudulent practice.
So as we flag off today, sales will commence immediately in all 23 local governments. I am going to put up also a strategic approach to ensure that there is effective monitoring so that there will be no diversion and it must get to the average farmers.
Chairman of the contracting firm, Julius Atoro, while commending the introduction of the cashless fertilizer distribution system adopted by the present administration, said the reform has enhanced transparency, accountability and efficiency in the sector.
Benue has been suffering, and Benue farmers have been suffering from the issue of adulterated fertilizer. We gave the governor our word and we said with this partnership, the issue of fake fertilizers will be a thing of the past. I am happy to report to you that we have delivered on that promise and on that mandate.
With the 2026 cropping season now officially open, Benue is banking on timely access to input to drive bombers harvest, create jobs, and strengthening the state's position as Nigerians' food basket. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
And joining me right now from Benue State is our correspondent Felicity Ndere, who's standing by to speak to us to how farmers are feeling receiving this fertilizer as being distributed by the governor of Benue State. Hello, Felicity. It's good to have you join me on the reporter today.
Good to be here, Anita.
So let's talk about the farming season and this new initiative. Will the Benue State government's fertilizer subsidy and expanded farm input distribution be enough to significantly boost food production and reduce food prices for Nigerians?
Yes, categorically, I would say yes, because of the level of expansion in the farm inputs due to the level of the subsidized prices. If you look at fertilizers, it has been subsidized at the 50% level. Some fertilizers, the prices at some areas are like 70,000. Some areas, some people are selling, some marketers are selling like 75,000. But at this level, a bag is 28,000 naira, which the Benue State government is now giving to farmers. We believe that at the level, everything is okay, because some other farm inputs that have also been given to them will help them improve their yields this year significantly. We can say yes, it's going to help a lot.
I like that perception you have and how we're moving into the cropping season as well. How can the government ensure that the subsidized fertilizers and farm inputs reach the genuine farmers and not diverted by middlemen or corrupt practices? Because we see that in most cases. I think we have a network challenge there, but I really want to speak to that issue on how this can get the farmers themselves, because we seem to have some of those such kind of challenges when it comes to distribution with the middlemen practice. I hope she can join us once again so we can speak to that issue. But while we're waiting to see if she can, but let's quickly turn our focus and go to Imo State, as Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says Nigeria risks missing out on the opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution if universities fail to equip graduates with relevant digital and technological skills. He gave the warning while delivering the 38th convocation lecture at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Our correspondent Amarachi Ibe has more.
As technology continues to redefine economies and industries worldwide, the call for stronger investment in innovation, research and digital education is becoming more urgent. Speaking at the 38th convocation lecture, Governor Hope Uzodinma said universities of technology must move beyond conventional learning and become drivers of innovation, entrepreneurship and industrial transformation. He noted that advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and digital technology are rapidly shaping the global economy, stressing that Nigeria must act quick to avoid being left behind. Governor Uzodinma expressed confidence that with the right investment, partnership, and institutional reform, universities of technology can position Nigeria as a major player in the global digital economy.
It is therefore my proposition that Nigerian universities of technology, of which Pluto is the flagship, must lead in this revolution, or we will jeopardize the future of this nation. We either build or we are built upon. We either sit at the table or stay on the menu. The choice is ours.
Governor Uzodinma said, although Africa missed previous industrial revolution, the current digital transformation presents Nigeria with a fresh opportunity to compete globally, provided institutions are stronger and innovation is prioritized. He maintained that the country possesses the talents required to succeed, but needs modern curriculum, increased research funding, and stronger links between universities and industries.
Let me begin with what the federal government, under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is already doing. Nigeria's National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, developed under the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, and the National Information Technology Development Agency, was finalized in September last year. It sets ambitious targets for AI literacy among young Nigerians.
The governor called for accelerated curriculum reforms, establishment of innovation hubs, and stronger collaborations between academia and the private sector to transform ideas into viable businesses and sustainable economic growth. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, Global TV News.
Well, Amarachi was able to give us that guide. We're looking at new innovations coming in from schools and how that can improve and translate Nigerian campuses into jobs and businesses. While we're hoping that she can join us shortly to dwell on that. We still have Felicity who was speaking to us, and I want her to really answer the question on the middleman. Hello, Felicity. Let's speak on the issue of the middleman. Like I said, I wish sure that this initiative will help and get to the direct farmers without corruption or corrupt practices being put out in place.
Yes, actually, it's going to work out this time around, because as the Commissioner for Agri rightly said, and then the Mr. Atoro, the person in charge, they have adopted the new administration's plight on cash. Nowadays you will not have to give cash at hand. There's a direct payment, and then they know the actual farmers, because we have farmers associations. Then we have people that, even though they are not in these associations, they know them, that these people are actually farmers, and then these inputs are going to reach them directly. And if they come for these inputs, they know them. You come and write your name, you get what you're requesting. And most likely, like yesterday, the flag off, it was a joyous Thursday for farmers. If you go to the arena, you see that the event was so joyful and colorful, because a lot of farmers there get to express themselves how they are with the inputs that are being given to them at a subsidized level. So they believe highly that this time around, everything, there will be no fraudulent practice. That was what the Commissioner for Agri said. He has assured journalists, he has assured the government that no fraudulent practice will be done this time around. It's going to be a seamless process.
So much, Felicity, for that contribution. We hope that this plays out really fine, just like you've spoken from the place of conviction from the coordinators of this fertilizer distribution. Thank you so much, Felicity, for your time. Well, let's turn our focus to the FCT here, where the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says major infrastructure projects across Abuja and its satellite communities have reached completion and are ready for inauguration as part of activities marking President Bola Tinubu's 3rd anniversary in office. Wike stated this during an inspection of the ongoing projects across the nation's capital. Kabir Hassan was there for Global TV.
After inspecting several road projects across the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT Minister expressed satisfaction with the quality and pace of work, describing the development as an evidence of the administration commitment to delivering dividend of democracy. Among the projects inspected were Jahi Uye Interchange, the Doualais Airport Road to Kuje, the Kuje-Gwagwalada Road, the Abuja City Gate, and sections of this outer Southern Car Expressway. Wike said the project have significantly improved connectivity between the city center and satellite towns, reducing travel time and enhancing economic activities.
Very happy with the quality of job. You can see that you can drive from the city down to Kuje in less than 25 minutes.
The minister noted that the transformation of critical road infrastructure reflects President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and commitment and improving the life of residents. He also disclosed that the remodeling of the Abuja City Gate will be illuminated at night to showcase its aesthetic appeal and create a welcoming image for visitors entering the nation's capital.
Governance in action, dividend of democracy, the renewed hope working, and we believe by the grace of God from Monday we'll start the commissioning of these projects.
Wike announced that the inauguration of the completed road project will commence on June 8th and continue for 31 days, with several road projects across the city and satellite towns lined up for commissioning. The minister expressed confidence that the completed project will improve mobility, support economic growth, and further position Abuja as a modern capital city. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
These road projects, the impact it will have on residents, it will boost the connectivity, reduce traffic congestion across the urban areas and the rural areas, the satellite towns in the area. Well, for the satellite towns, it can attract and boost more investment and boost trade markets for where they were undeserved before. So it's actually a boost for the satellite towns.
Okay, so I know that satellite towns is one place where Nigerians or the FCT residents always look out for ease of infrastructure, accessibility, especially road, because if you go to satellite towns, you see that road is a major cause of concern, and it's good that they've turned their focus to the satellite towns. But let's look at as preparations are going ahead to inaugurate this completed project, Kabiru. Over 31-day period, what more should residents expect from the administration in the terms of sustainable urban development and service delivery across the satellite towns that you see projects across, like Kuje, Buhari, all of those areas?
Yeah. So the residents first, apart all these infrastructures that were done, they should be able to maintain it. So meanwhile, they are maintaining it and managing it well, handling it well. Or we give the government a boost to let's see how we can, since these people are maintaining this, let's see how we can do something to better their environment and continue. And also the residents should expect more from the government, because the government, as I said, part of its renewed hope agenda is to ensure that no side is left behind. Okay. And they must ensure that Nigeria is better for everyone.
Okay, so we hope that this plays out fine, and then everyone gets to smile at the community level, especially the satellite towns in the FCT. Thank you so much, Kabir, for your time with us. Well, there you have it, Kabir Hassan, hoping that this innovations of service delivery and infrastructure plays out well across the FCT as well. Well, let's go away and off the shores of Nigeria, where the U.S. Secretary of State, before we get that, I'm told that Amarachi is standing by to speak to us quickly on the issue around the infrastructure or job provisions in education sector there. Let's have Amarachi speak to us. Hello, Amarachi. You were there at Futo, and then where the governor spoke on the issue around practical work and artificial intelligence for students. Is Nigeria's university system doing enough to prepare graduates for the demands of artificial intelligence, robotics, and the digital economy?
Yes, of course, I was there at the Federal University of Technology, where the governor gave the lecture on artificial intelligence. Yeah, the student made it known, and it was a very broad lecture that the government made it known that the artificial intelligence and other artificial things going on in the world, the biotechnology, like the computing and every other thing that are going on around the artificial intelligence is a very
you're saying the network is really not so sound. I can barely make sense from what you're saying. I hope you can get somewhere clearer so we can pick up what you're saying, because it's not audible enough. Well, let's like I said, go off the shores of Nigeria and talk to you on the story making the rounds there, where the Secretary of the U.S. of State, Marco Rubio, says Cuba has technocrats who are ready to negotiate change in the island's governance. Speaking during a House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing, Rubio also stated the war in Sudan has become what he termed a proxy battle, calling out the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia for the first time for their alleged roles in prolonging the conflict. Uyi Agumofegbe reports.
Rubio, born of Cuban parents in Florida, was asked at the House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing about the possibility of finding interlocutors within Cuba's communist regime. Cuba is under growing pressure from the United States, which has maintained an economic embargo since 1962 and more recently has used the threat of sanctions to choke off fuel shipments. Washington has also filed criminal charges against the key leader of the communist revolution, former President Raul Castro, who is 94. Secretary of State Rubio also said there are persons within the technocratic realm of the government that could play a vital role in the process, but noted that it is difficult to specify a name.
Many of you are aware, unfortunately, Sudan has turned into a proxy war between multiple countries, and the divisions between the UAE and Saudi Arabia have truly complicated our ability to bring that to an end. What we're focused on there now is identifying 2 cities, or 4 cities, 2 on each side, that will serve as points of distribution for humanitarian aid. But the inability, the real frustrating thing about Sudan is that one side or the other will agree to something, but then they will not comply. So I think the next meeting of NATO and Turkey in July is probably the most important meeting in NATO's history, because there are some things here that need to be cleared up and fixed.
Washington says it wants to see a transition in Cuba towards democracy and a more open economy, as well as a shift from ties with U.S. adversaries. CIA Director John Ratcliffe traveled to the Cuban capital in mid-May, and last week representatives of the U.S. and Cuban militaries met at the gates of the U.S. military base at Guantanamo Bay.
And without objection, this committee stands adjourned.
Uyi Agmofwebe, Global TV News.
Well, there you have it, and of course, we've seen what's happening outside the shore of Nigeria. Well, that brings us to the size of the program. The Reporter, thank you for watching. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. To stay connected always, kindly follow us across all socials using @Global TV NG. Thank you for being a part of the programming. Until we come your way the next time, I am Anieti Patrick. Bye for now.
Social media, it's not just about the platforms themselves.
To the preservation of the national unity and democratic stability.
Water is life, water is an essential service, and we must have to carry out the residents.
Local communities are not only vital to the growth of society, but they also form the bedrock of humanitarian